Welcome in for another edition of Inside Benedict College Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr. Listen, before we get to you, let me get our sponsors, because without them, we couldn't be sitting here to do this for you. And we say thank you for being a part of it, and thank you for watching, too. Founders Federal Credit Union, thank you so much for being the primary sponsor. We appreciate you guys. Columbia Metropolitan Airport, been on board for a minute. Lexington Medical Center, big shouts to you. And, of course, the South Carolina Education Lottery as well. Play, but play responsibly, okay? It's so important to do that. We, of course, come up short on this one, 31-28, but the guys are gelling. They're moving together. They're starting to grow. You're starting to get the confidence in each other when they play together. With North Greenville University, you saw that, and I know even though with that loss, your thoughts on the team and the way they're gelling together.
You know, I agree. I see a lot more positive. But, you know, as we will go through, and if you've seen the game, you know, the big plays that hurt us, you know, and we didn't have enough on offense, and they had enough on theirs to get the lead, to keep the lead, and, you know, we were trying to dig out of the hole. But I see the team growing. I see them coming together. You know, for 4 quarters we fought, you know, and until the last tick on there, those guys were excited. They knew we had a chance, and that's where I wanted to get to, you know, with such a young team and in the direction that we're going. So, you know, again, heartbreaking, because when we go through this, you will see there's a lot of just little things that we got to work on, but we're getting there.
You know, you talked about digging back from a hole, and as you know, in this first quarter right there, North Greenville had 21 points on the board. But we know the end game, so we know that Benedict did fight back. We're going to go through all of this and piece it together. So the start of the game, North Greenville, they win the toss. They defer to the second half. Benedict picks this ball, and they actually are able to move it down the field, and they get to the 19-yard line and still come up short.
You know, and again, that's something that we're learning to do. I mean, you know, previous games, we've gone 3 and out. We've struggled a little bit, but the transition moving down the field was very smooth. You know, Trey drops back, has a great pass to Troy Hillman. Happy to get him back this week. Troy has a big catch, moves the ball. I think it's somewhere around 21 yards, you know, and so we mix the run up, we mix the pass up, and we just move the ball right down the field, and then have an opportunity right there on the goal line. And, you know, our left tackle goes the wrong way for some reason. And there's a defender standing right there, and, you know, it's on 3rd and 1 where we should go in the end zone. If he steps out, it's touchdown. But what happens is we lose 2 yards, and we have to go and, you know, kick a field goal. And, you know, at that point in time, you're going, man, it's at least easy 3 points. And for some reason, you know, we missed the field goal. Lucas, his steps, timing, and everything was off. And so instead of us, you know, having 7, we thought we were going to have 3, and we end up with 0.
Benedict goes on defense here, and they do a pretty good job. Matter of fact, Nwokocha, he comes up and steps in.
Yes. Again, he's playing great football right now, and I'm really happy. You know, he's becoming the bell cow of that defensive line, him and Aaron Miller. And, you know, on 3rd down makes a great big sack. And so, you know, they have to punt the ball. Again, we go 3 and out this drive. We have to punt the ball. And then we get into a situation, and I'm not really sure, but I think, you know, we had an opportunity to back them up, and we get a penalty. And then on that very first play, you know, our defensive back is in the right, he's in the right position. But when you're playing man, you got to get your hands on the receiver. He doesn't get his hands on. He opens the gate, and, you know, 86 yards later, they have a score. And, you know, you get worried because the transition of you didn't make points, now they come back on one play and they make points. How's your team going to respond? And, you know, we did well into that, but we're down 7 to nothing at this point in time off of one big play.
All right, so up 7-zip, as you just mentioned, and, you know, we trade punts back and forth. Both teams are doing this. You know, it's a struggle at this point to see who's going to come out on top of who wants it, and you get the Trailblazers, who are now at 2nd and 13 from their own 14-yard line, and they get a big play here.
They do, you know, and before I go there, I just want to talk. Lucas Wynn pins him down. You know, I mean, his punt, I think, puts him on the 5-yard line,
that's right,
as you say. And so he was doing a good job of helping us because we were stalling out a little on offense. Defense is starting to come around of who they are and stuff like that. And so, you know, we get a stop, put them in 2nd and 13, and we're like, okay, we have the momentum. They're backed up. And then again, you know, we're in a situation where they run switch routes on us, and the DB doesn't come over the top. And 86 yards later, we're down 14 to nothing.
You know, matter of fact, Lucas had 3 great punts where he pinned them back and whatnot. So, but let me move on to Jackson Williams with a great return on kickoff for you guys, for Benedict. Great return here, 27-yard pass to Malachi Jones, but then the mistake kicks in.
You know, freshman has a great return, and then we're in a situation where we're moving the ball. Again, we're having momentum, and we run a slant across the middle. Mr. Jones catches the ball. He breaks 2 tackles, but he doesn't secure the ball. Defender comes in and knocks it out of his hands. We lose the ball. And so, again, as you're going through these scenarios, big play for a touchdown, big play for a touchdown. We get a big return, then we have a big pass play, but it turns into a big play for them for a fumble. And so the next thing you know, they have the ball. Momentum is changing a little bit. They do some things, and before you know it, we put our defense in a bad situation, and now we're down 21-0.
Yeah, Benedict is in a hole, 21-0 at this point. But, the guys don't give up. They continue to fight. They continue to push forward. And here it is on 2nd and 5 from North Greenville 18. Simmons does something great.
Yeah, one of the things that when we talk about character and your team developing, we've had, I think in the last 3 games, we've had some too many drives that we've had to go down and score. And that's really hard. That puts a lot of pressure on your quarterback and the offensive line and your receivers and everything else. And we've done a good job. Trey, makes a big catch. Trey makes a big throw. And then, we run the ball and we just, again, orchestrate some really smooth transitions on offense to put us in a situation to either kick a field goal or score. And we have an opportunity where we see a mismatch. And so, Trey sets it up, looks to the field, comes back and throws the ball to Malachi Jones and touchdown. And so, going into half, we're on the board, which shows that we can do it. We just got to settle down and anchor in and do the things right.
All right, 21-7 from that big hole of 21-0. So, what are your thoughts on your guys? What are your thoughts on this game, period? And what do you have to do to make the second half better?
Going in, when I talked to the coaches and I told the team, we're beating ourselves because we're giving up big plays. We're beating ourselves because we're giving them big plays. We give up 3 big touchdowns on pass plays. We're stymieing them in the run. We have 2 opportunities to move the ball, and we fumble, which both of them, end up turning into points again for them and stuff like that. And so we just got to settle down. We have to do the little things. We have to be disciplined and consistent. And we have to believe that we're going to be able to, get out of this hole that we're in. And that was my challenge to the coaches, and that was my challenge to the team.
So that's how the first half ends, 21-7. You go into the locker room. We're going to come back, give you the second half highlights of what happens with Benedict College and North Greenville University. Of course, this is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union, our primary sponsor. We say thank you to that. But coming up next, we got our Lexington Medical Center play up a spotlight, and we're going to bring in Lucas Wynn. Lucas Wynn, we'll have him come and chat with this guy so we can get to know him and, of course, what's next for Benedict, too. So all that and more with Inside Benedict College Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr. Back after this.
Life, like water, is something you move through. You need a team helping propel you forward. The experts at Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide specialized treatment for the athlete and all of us, backed by the #1 rated hospital in the Midlands. Life's a sport. Keep playing.
Life moves fast, and while you're raising future MVPs, it's good to know you've got a teammate with Founders, a partner you can trust to always have your back, with products and services that give you the freedom to focus on the more important things. While you're sharing those moments, remember, we're here for one single reason, to help grow your financial success. So when the game is done, you can relax, because at Founders, our most valuable player is you.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr. It is now time for the Lexington Medical Center Player Spotlight. We got Lucas here. What's up, Lucas?
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
My man. You the kicker?
Yes, sir.
You the
yes,
punter?
Sir. Yes, sir.
So was this like soccer and you just switched over?
Yes, sir. I played soccer since 5th grade for sure, and then as I transitioned into high school junior year, I had a soccer game. Football coach came out and wanted me to try kicking, so
Gotcha.
that's how it happened.
There it is. So when you're in the gym, you'd be like, I don't need to do my arms and chest, just my legs. Is that what you work on mostly?
No, I mean I do, upper body, lower body for sure, but it's more of emphasis on lower body.
Gotcha.
100%.
My man. Did you play football? Well, football and soccer as a kid, or just mainly soccer?
Just mainly soccer. So when I grew up, first grade. I played football from first grade to third grade. Then I stopped playing football, switched to soccer, and then from soccer I played, from fifth all the way to senior year.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Benedict isn't your first football team since you stopped. You played football a little bit before. How did you get recruited from Benedict?
Okay, so I graduated in 2023. It was the start of the year of 2023, and I got a call from Coach. He offered me, I think it was actually like January 7th or something like that. So it was a few days before, it was like a few weeks before National Signing Day. And I came up on a visit, everything like that, and it just intrigued me, what they were building and everything like that. And I felt like a part of a family.
Yeah.
So, that's what just made me want to come here.
How was signing for you? Did you have like your family and the table and the different hats or shirts?
No.
You did all that?
No, sir. My grandparents flew in from Michigan.
Okay.
My aunts were there, my cousins. So it was a close family for sure.
Cool deal.
Yes, sir.
And you're a sophomore now?
Yes, sir.
What's your major?
Computer science, cybersecurity.
Oh, man, watch out.
Yes,
Smart man right here.
sir.
Gonna make all the big bucks. You got a girlfriend?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
dang. Sorry, ladies.
Yes, sir.
What do you like to do in your downtime, spare time?
I like to listen to music, play video games, things like that, hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
sir.
good. What games do you play?
I play 2K, and Call of Duty. Those are my two favorite
Those are right there?
games. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So did you watch the Cowboys and the Steelers this week?
I
mean,
didn't, but I
they
saw
went
the
into overtime.
game.
It was late. They had the delay and whatnot. Cowboys, your team?
No,
team?
I did see the game-winning field goal though, so
Yeah,
I can't
that's what it was.
complain too much.
Who's your team?
Probably the Bengals. The Ravens.
That was a great game too, by the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Both teams had the opportunity to win in regulation time. They both messed up.
Yeah.
And then
Justin Tucker.
there you go. There you go. That's what
sir.
happens. Kicker.
Yes,
You
sir.
got to rely on that leg.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people don't know, but that's one of the most important positions on the team too. That kick, you can put somebody deep, or of course you can hit those field goals.
Yes, sir.
What's your longest?
In game or just in
Just
regular?
period.
Period, 65 yards.
Get out.
Yes. Sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
In game.
In game, 47.
My man.
Yes, sir.
You doing it up for Benedict though.
Yes, sir.
And so when you finish, you're gonna go play for the Cowboys?
I
notice I
would
keep
love
throwing the Cowboys.
Yeah. I would love to play pro if given an opportunity.
But of
for
course,
sure.
with your major, you're gonna be good either way.
Either
You know
or.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But just keep kicking.
Yes, sir.
Keep kicking for BC.
Yes, sir.
You got a game coming up against Kentucky. How you feeling?
I feel good. I think our team is only getting stronger. As the weeks go by, we had a late start, but that doesn't mean that we had to have a bad finish. So.
Yeah. And what I like about Benedict is with each game, you guys seem to gel together. You grow together more, and you guys are getting stronger with each game.
Yes, sir. I think we do. Practicing day in and day out. We're just getting closer and closer. So just building a brotherhood.
I'll see you on Sundays playing for the Cowboys.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Lucas Wynn. Wish you well this coming
Yes, sir.
weekend.
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Have a good one.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Back with more right after this. This is Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr., brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. This was the Lexington Medical Center Player Spotlight.
Life moves fast, and while you're raising future MVPs, it's good to know you've got a teammate with Founders, a partner you can trust to always have your back, with products and services that give you the freedom to focus on the more important things. While you're sharing those moments, remember, we're here for one single reason, to help grow your financial success. So when the game is done, you can relax, because at Founders, our most valuable player is you.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr. We thank you so much for joining us, and we also want to say thank you to Founders Federal Credit Union, South Carolina Education Lottery, Lexington Medical Center, as well as Columbia Metropolitan Airport. We thank you all for being a part of Benedict Football, no doubt about that. All right, so here it is. The Trailblazers, they deferred to the second half. They get the ball back. They're marching down the field, Coach.
They are, and we went in there at halftime and we made some adjustments. We said we got to win the third quarter, and so we have this bend don't break mentality, and all of a sudden one of our freshmen, he decides to show up, and we get a big hit, and there's a fumble, and Trey Caver, recovers it, and so it gives us an opportunity to get back on offense, and so we take that momentum, and we go down the field and we throw the ball again to another freshman, Troy, Hillman, and which is able to move the ball there. We see that there's a weakness in the coverage, and we take one of our speedy freshmen again, Jackson Williams, and send him right down the middle of the field for the touchdown, which gives us an opportunity to be now 21-14.
Putting a lot of faith in your freshmen on this year.
A lot of them probably should have been at FBS programs, and because of the NII, And the way that recruiting was, we were able to capitalize, and that's, again, the university selling itself and then, who we are. And so we have a lot of key freshmen that are very, very talented. And so, if at the end of the day, the best man is going to play and they're very hungry, they're looking at the transfers, but they're also have a chip on their shoulder because some other schools didn't recruit them, and they've seen the love that the coaching staff and Benedict gave them, and, the alumni and the student body. And so, when their numbers called, they're stepping up and doing a great job. And, as I said the week before, yes, we have a ton of freshmen. I think, when we travel, we probably have 20 freshmen that travel out of a 58-man roster. And I would say probably 15 of them play.
All right, 28-14, Benedict has the ball. They're trying to march down this field and, of course, catch up because it's only 28-14. They're still in this game. But when you have the mistakes and the penalties, the missed opportunities, that could cost you.
It does, and again, we're in a situation to where we're in this game and we're going down the score. We get a couple penalties on offense. We get a sack, and then now we're behind the 8-ball, and a lot of these are self-inflicted wounds that, again, as I said, everything that could go wrong in this game with football went wrong. And, where North Greenville was able to capitalize, we weren't. We have a 4th and long, and we knew exactly what coverage they were going to be in. I told Troy, I told Trey to look the safety off. The middle field's going to be open. Jackson's going to run down. Same previous play that we ran with Jackson to score. And Trey goes out there and, he doesn't do what we ask him to do, when Jackson's running right down the middle of the field, and next thing you know, he's scrambling around and we take a sack. A lot of that's on me. I probably should have punted the ball at that point in time because we could have pinned him in. Lucas had been doing a good job. But, North Greenville was a creature of habit. We saw that. We had an opportunity. I felt good, with Jackson. I felt good with Trey. I felt good with they were going to blitz, and everything was right. We just didn't execute it, from the quarterback to the receiver position. But in that transition, we get such a big sack, which puts them in great, position to score. I think the next play, they throw a play to the tight end, and he gets like a catch across the middle, which takes him down to the 20-some yard line. And so, again, they capitalize on their big plays and the mistakes we have. We don't capitalize when we have opportunities.
Yeah. And they go up. North Greenville was on a 30, they had a 35-yard pass, which sets them up on the 8-yard line. They get a run there, and that's 35-14 because of the missed opportunities with Benedict. So there you have it on that one. Now, here we go. Let's talk about the punt that Benedict had. It was a big gain on first down. Trailblazers move into the red zone. And again, 1st and goal at the 5. But Benedict, the defense just stiffens up.
Yes, we talk about, we have 8 different categories when we talk about how to win on Saturday, and one of them is goal line. And so, we struggled early in the game. We were coming off of our goal line and we fumbled the ball there. We had an opportunity early in the game to score, and that's why I said, our left tackle went the wrong way and we get stopped on 3rd down. But our defense, they bowed their back and they did a good job of holding them in to where they weren't able to score a touchdown.
Yeah. They settle for a field goal. Now the score is 38-14. Tigers get the kickoff. And this one here, they put together one of the best drives of the game that they had here, going 65 yards, 14 plays, and they eat up 5.5 minutes on the clock doing so.
Again, I think a lot of this was set up because we had a big return. Jackson Williams, I think that's when he had that big 70-some yard return, which gave us an opportunity. And then we put ourselves in a good situation. We just had to play a little faster because we were eating up the clock, but we were very consistent. And we took what they gave us and we moved the ball down the field. And again, when you talk about is the team getting better, in situations like that, when you watch the poise and the confidence, we just can't be in that situation every game. We can't continue to put ourselves in that situation. We got to be able to do that in the 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter. And then if we have to, we've gotten really good at, trying to play catch up. But when you're down 38-14, you got to move the ball a lot quicker. And, that wasn't the time to eat the clock like we did, but yet we were still able to move the ball and put ourselves in a situation to score and, be down 38-21.
You just mentioned 38-21, so now we got to get to that scoring part for Benedict to see how we got there.
Well, we realized that they were going to bring pressure. Their edges were soft, and we knew we had to move the ball down the field because I had called timeout earlier in the game, and so we're trying to preserve the timeouts. So we were throwing the ball, and we were moving Trey. Trey's really good on his feet, so we throw the ball to the right, get out of bounds. We come back and we have Lloyd, one of our receivers from California, a transfer. He comes up underneath, we slip, we catch him, he gets a big catch there. And then we hand the ball off to Damian Moats. We're trying to get, in situation to score. And so we get down there and we think that because they had been running a certain defense all game, we get down there and they change up. And so the play we had was for a man coverage and they give us zone. But the good thing about that is all of our concepts are built for man and zone. And so where we thought we were going to be able to throw the ball over the top in the end zone, they drop back in the coverage. Tyreek Carter comes up underneath. Troy goes through his read and sees that Tyreek Carter's right there in the middle of the field and flips the ball to him for the touchdown. And so, again, that gives us momentum. It shows that, we're learning as an offense and as a team. It's just, unfortunately, the clock is not on our side.
That's how the game goes. 38-21. We are not done with football. There's some games still left to be played, and the team is gelling together with each momentum, each game. You see it all coming together.
I do, and the good thing is now we're in the conference. The bad thing is we got to go on the road, but we've played well on the road also, and so we got a long trip going up to play Kentucky State this week, and they are in the conference, and so it's the next game is the most important game, and we're going to focus and get ready to go up there and do what we've been doing to put it all together, offense, defense, special teams.
All right, we're going to break that down in just a moment when we come back. But first, we have our Columbia Metropolitan Airport assistant coach spotlight, and it's going to be Jordan Hopgood. So we're going to chat with this guy in just a little bit. Hold tight. Don't go nowhere. This is Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr.
Your trip begins now. Your trip is your story, and all the best stories begin right here at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Whether you travel for business or pleasure, we designed CAE to maximize your comfort. Maybe your trip is one of discovery, reunion, or time to close the deal. Wherever your trip ends, it all begins right here, the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly with ease.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr. It's brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Right now, though, it's the Columbia Metropolitan Airport Assistant Coach Spotlight. We got Jordan Hopgood in with me. What's up, money?
What's up, man?
How you doing? You good?
I'm well, man. How are you?
Savannah, Georgia. That's where you came to us from?
Yeah.
Look at it. See, I know this stuff. I got to do my homework.
Yeah.
What brought you to Benedict?
Well, man, just the opportunity, man. Benedict found me. Knowing Coach Dickerson for quite some time. I coached with him at Morgan State and at Jackson State. So
Gotcha.
We had a relationship before here, and once he had an opportunity to come over here, I jumped to it. So
you've been with Coach for a little bit, so you know him pretty well.
Yeah.
What's Coach really like? You can tell him.
He is who he is. You know what I mean? He's going to tell it straight.
That's what it is. That's what's up. Special teams coach, right?
Yes, sir.
So many, when you talk about special teams, you got to be ready. The kickoff team, the punting team. Talk about special teams.
And the motto is special teams do special things. You know what I mean? So all facets of the game, you got your punting, you got your punt return, you got your kickoff, you got your kickoff returns, your onside kick team, your hands team, and all those depth charts are different. You know what I mean? You have the pool of the whole team, and this is an opportunity for the best players on offense and the best players on defense to have the opportunity to play together. You know what I mean? So when I was in college, we had an opportunity, and that was our motto. You know what I mean? We had all conference guys on offense and defense, and the only time they got to play together, they play together at practice, but during the game, you don't get to do anything, to affect the game together. You want your best players on those units, and if you get, your star wide receiver and your star DB on the field at the same time, you can make something special happen.
Got the great hands team and the whole 9 yards, all
Absolutely.
that good stuff. So you talk about when you played. So who'd you play for, and what was your position?
I played at Bowling Green State University,
Okay.
Up in Ohio. Played in the MAC conference. Started out as a wide receiver. Ended up moving to running back after my first year, and had a few injuries, but I never left the field.
Okay.
So special teams became special to me. You know what I mean? Because I had to find my niche. Right? I had to find my purpose and my role on the team. And special teams was one of those deals where I had opportunity to still get, even though I was like a third or fourth back after those injuries, I still got my 40, 50 snaps a game. So I felt like I played a full game. So that's why I try to preach to our guys that just because you're not the star receiver or the star DB or the star linebacker, you do have a chance to impact the game. And you can do that multiple times throughout the game on different phases of the special teams. So
you're only as strong as your weakest link, and when you have all those 11 men out on that field, all of them play together as a strong, tight chain, which is a great thing. Absolutely. You also mentioned you were a running back. So what was your 40?
Oh man, coming out of high school, I think I ran a 4.48.
Dude, I ran a 4.40.
Yeah.
I was running back as well.
Oh yeah, there you
and
go.
you got to have great vision.
Oh yeah,
and of course, great because you see those holes, you got to get them. You got to be able to cut in the whole nine. You still got it?
After 4 knee surgeries, I could probably give you 1 or 2 plays.
1 or 2 cuts, and then
1 or 2 plays.
How is it coaching these young kids, getting them to where they need to be, and trying to get them to get the right mindset?
Just leading by example. Just the way they see us interact with each other as coaches in our office, our open door policy here in the office. Just letting them understand that somebody that looks like them, maybe they're a little older and they're in their professional, the professional part of their life. They're still just like you, and just giving them those words of encouragement, especially as far as academically, going training for on-field performance and things like that. So our mindset is to help those guys see the bigger picture. You know what I mean? And and it's more than football. You know what I mean? It's more than football.
That's a great thing too. Yeah. You mentioned Bowling Green. So did you grow up in Ohio?
Oh yeah, Cincinnati.
Oh, that's you. All day, Cincinnati.
Born and raised, man.
There you go. It's all right, man. Listen, we appreciate what you're doing. I know you're getting you guys ready for Kentucky. And as I was talking to Coach and I was talking to your kicker Win, how these guys are gelling together with each game, pulling together, and finally seeing what happens, connecting the dots so that they could get to that championship mindset. It's a good thing.
Oh yeah, man. Our guys are buying in and they're trusting the process. We got a lot of guys who never played together. This is their first time probably getting a chance to play in significant roles, and I think they're embracing it and they're understanding by each rep they're gaining that experience. So the next time maybe they'll get it right. You know what I mean? Like if they failed the first time, they have something to look back on and say, hey, that's not going to happen to me again. Right. And that's what we're helping these guys understand, that, hey, it's going to be a little trial and error here and there, but once we get this thing going, it's going to be flawless.
It's going to be fire.
Yeah.
There it is. Jordan Hopgood, special teams coach. Get ready for Kentucky coming up this weekend. Travel to that game if you can. Help support your BC Tigers. And again, we say thank you to Founders Federal Credit Union as well as Columbia Metropolitan Airport for our assistant coach spotlight. Back with more right after this.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player. Like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Some days your strength and resolve are tested. You need a team behind you to keep you going. The experts at Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide specialized treatment for the athlete in all of us. Backed by the #1 rated hospital in the Midlands, life's a sport. Keep playing.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict Football with Coach Ron Dickerson Jr., brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. And you know what? It's always great when we get the opportunity to check out these players and also the coaches, not just watching them play, but get to know them. And I appreciate Columbia Metropolitan Airport and also Lexington Medical Center for sponsoring those highlights so we get to chat with these guys. Now, let's talk about this next game you got coming up. We got to go all the way to Kentucky to play the Thoroughbreds.
And you're right, all the way to Kentucky.
Yeah.
The hurricane came and it shut down a lot of the easier roads that we would have had to go through North Carolina. So we have to go through Atlanta, through Chattanooga, and up through Knoxville before we can even get to where we need to go. So, we got to be focused, and we're excited though because it is the next game. And we have that bitter taste in our mouth, and we know that those were things that we did to lose the game. It wasn't what North Greenville did, and so again, conference game. Everybody is wanting to beat Benedict, but also It's a home game for them. As we've seen this past weekend, anybody can win, anybody can lose on Saturday. So we're going to have our A game and go up there and play a really good team. Defensively, they're stout. They like to bring a lot of pressure. They'll mix their coverages up. On there, they got 2 great interior defensive linemen. One was a transfer from Alcorn, and the other one's a young man that is a graduate. He's been there his whole career. I think he's like 6'4", 265. Really good player. And then, they have a very talented quarterback that likes to run the ball. And they'll spread you and do a lot of empty stuff, to get you out of the box and then have him run into that. So we're going to have to be sound on that, and when we get into the special teams, I think that's where we'll have our advantage, is just because, we are really gelling. That is one of our stronger areas, especially the way that Lucas has been kicking, and then with our return game. So we're expecting them not probably to kick the ball to us as much, because our returners are doing really, really good with changing the field.
You guys head to Kentucky. They're 1-5, but you can't sleep on teams regardless, because they're always fighting to get a position in the SIAC.
Oh, so true. I mean, they just beat Lane, and Lane beat us. You know what I'm saying? So if we're sleeping on them, if we're disrespecting them, I'm going to tell my coaches and my team, don't get on the bus, because, again, on any given Saturday, anybody can beat anybody. And if you don't believe that, go back and watch college football this weekend. I mean, a lot of great teams were playing, but those that believed and had more belief, they finished and they won. And that's why college football is in disarray right now.
1 p.m. kickoff in Kentucky. If you're going to go to this game, check it with BenedictTigers.com. All the details, how to probably get some of those tickets, get on the bus. There's going to be some buses, Dennis. Not sure about the buses here, but you can get some of those tickets and head up that way too. Matter of fact, follow the long route these guys are going to take to get to Kentucky. But it's needed. If you can get to that game to help support your Benedict College Tigers, please do so. Please
do it. I wanted to go back and thank them. It was Military Appreciation Day this past game, and so the stands were packed with all the service people and the military people. So I thank them. I thank their families and everybody that came out to the game, and then all of our loyal supporters that came out. I appreciate it. The band, it was a great atmosphere. The weather was good and everything else. So keep supporting these young men, and we're going in the right direction. Greatness takes time.
Absolutely. Inside Benedict Football, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union, Columbia Metropolitan Airport, South Carolina Education Lottery, and Lexington Medical Center. We say thank you so much. And we thank you for watching too, because again, without you guys supporting this, why would we be sitting here talking to you? So thank you for checking in and find out what's happening. And Coach, we're going to see you next week to talk about the game with Kentucky as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys take care. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.